Thank you, Bill Starks. That was a little Mardi Gras intro. That was good. We're in the right month.
Yes, it is. Tonight's the night.
That's amazing. Let's scrap the whole show and just take video down in Louisiana somewhere. What do you think? No. All right. That was great. Obviously, you're a fan of that music. It seemed like a couple Professor Longhair compositions.
Bit of an improvisation on Tipatina, yeah.
Yeah.
Not exactly the way Fest played it, but
Yeah.
yeah, an improvisation.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. But
Likewise.
wow, man. Well, we're finally getting to do this. We've been talking about this for a while. I want to right away tell the folks that are out there in Streamio land to make sure that they donate to the individual artists. And as we like to say, if you have a little bit left over, then you can donate to the Institute of Musical Traditions. But this is mostly about the artists because gigs are hard to find right now. And this is oftentimes the only gigs for some of the musicians. And it's lonely out there. And food didn't get any cheaper, and rent didn't get any cheaper, et cetera, et cetera. So please donate, just like voting in the old days in Chicago. Vote early and often. Donate early and often.
Well, if I may say so, don't be shy about supporting the Institute of Musical Traditions, too, because they present
Thanks.
great shows all year long. And while we can't present great shows all year long in person, they're doing this wonderful service, too. So sure appreciate it.
Well, thanks. It's a format that's evolved. This is about our 23rd show. And it's not studio and it's not live with live audience, but there's a world in between that's it's kind of fun to do. It's kind of a good, a different way of experiencing the arts. So you were going to retire, as I recall, and then they said, no, don't retire. We need you.
Things happen differently, that's right. Well, live music kind of went away, and at the same time, where I work, they asked me to come back and do like almost full time, 4 days a week. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing for most of the year, 2020. And, when you go from being semi-retired to working 4 days a week, that's pretty darn close to working full time. So it's been an adjustment, but it's worked out well. I'm looking forward to slowing down again sometime soon and hopefully picking up more musical activities at the same time.
Well, I guess I know you mostly with your work with Ruthie and the Wranglers, and then we did a show or two where you were part of the class of '88, meaning the '88 Keys, with John Carroll and Josh Christina. Maybe I can't remember the third.
We did one with Josh Christina, we did one with Brian Sims, and we did one with Deanna Bogart.
Yeah.
All very fun. Thanks for doing that.
Oh man. Well, someday we'll hopefully do it again.
Yeah.
What would you like to kick us off with here? What do we got?
Oh, I didn't know I was going first. What do you know? Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. I blew it.
Okay.
Jillian's going first.
All right.
Almost blew it.
Well, that's what I would like. I would like Jillian to go first.
Okay.
Okay. Jillian's gonna. Well, this is Jillian Matundan, and
Hi. Oh, bye, Bill.
I got all caught up in Bill and reminiscing, and like I said, this is very different than live shows.
It's all good. All good. Happy to be here.
All right. So you used an interesting phrase as we were talking earlier. You said Bill is kind of caught in between Filipino bookends, and
That doesn't happen often,
no.
So,
So that means obviously that you're of that descent and origin and heritage.
Yes.
And so is Pam, our flamenco dancer.
That's right.
So that's kind of neat. And I remember wondering, and you've held me in suspense,
Oh, have I?
basically, whether you think of yourself as a songwriter with a Filipino heritage and background where your songs evoke the times of that country, or whether you're more of a singer-songwriter that happens to be of Philippine heritage.
I think most Filipinos would tell you I'm the latter, not the former. That I am.
Okay.
I happen to be a singer-songwriter who is a first-generation Filipino-American. So yes.
Yeah.
but very tied to
Sure.
culturally, both parents, and so it's. I'm very happy actually to be on a show with another Filipino. It's great.
Yeah.
So it's great.
So, and I said, are you going to do mostly covers, mostly originals, a little of each? And you said, oh no, they're all original.
Yeah, I
Which-
decided.
That's
how we were gonna
something
do it.
that I favor, and Rob, our engineer, we favor that a lot. I
get
mean,
it.
covers are cool, but
I can do
you,
them.
Yeah, but you learn more about the artist, and you get some really wonderful surprises.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some areas where you could say covers don't work really well, and then other times it's the only way to make a living. If you're in a hotel bar and it's Friday night,
People want to hear stuff that they know.
it's
So-
true. So.
So I get it.
But we're all in our individual bars now.
That's right.
And Annette Wasilik is definitely in her individual bar because she's checked in to say hello. So
She sure has.
hey, Annette.
Hey, Annette.
And I would wonder whether Annette is a singer-songwriter of Czech background or whether she's a Czech singer-songwriter. I think she's an American singer-songwriter.
That's right.
But
But she could
hasn't.
probably tell us. She'll probably tell us, right?
yeah, she'll probably throw it on the screen because. But in the meantime, what are you going to start us off with?
So I think I'm going to do a bunch of new stuff because why
Right.
not? I'm. Oh, this funny thing. Okay, so I'm going to do a song that is fairly new. It's a co-write with a friend of mine, another singer-songwriter from Virginia, Kathleen Huber. So I'm going to do this song. It's called "All Right Tonight." Here we go. Left, right, between. Waves crash beneath. One back, one wall. First you think, then you try not to fall. Time slipped away. Too long to wait. What could you say? Will you ever stay? Let loose the tide. Let go the night. No need to fight. It's right, it's right. It's all right tonight. Baby, it's all right with me. It's all right tonight. Stay here with me. Stay right here with me. Won't you stay with me tonight? One army green and neon orange rain. Take as a sign. Leave what was behind. Left, right, between. Beta waves beneath. Into the stream. It's arrived, it's mine. Let loose the tide. Let go the night. No need to fight. It's right, it's right. It's all right tonight. Baby, it's all right with me. It's all right tonight. Stay here with me. Stay right here with me. Won't you stay with me tonight? Don't fight the pull when gravity draws in. We'll find the center this time. You know this can be right. You know you can't deny. We're right tonight. Ooh. Let loose the tide. Let go the night. No need to fight. It's right, it's right. It's all me tonight. Pretend you're safe with me. Stay right here with me. Won't you stay with me for tonight? Ooh. Just for tonight.
Well, that's a wonderful invitation.
Well, thank you.
That's a good song to start us off with.
Come on in, people. We're very friendly
Yeah.
here.
Crawl out of your living rooms and run down the street.
Hello, people.
Yeah.
Saying
that's-
hello.
How new is that song? You said it was pretty new, right?
October, November, somewhere in there. Yeah, maybe December. Sometime the fall, really, in the winter, I would say.
Yeah.
But fairly recent. Pretty recent.
Yeah, I mean, given the pandemic and given the time of year,
Right.
Stay With Me Tonight is pretty,
Probably not a great idea.
well, no, I was thinking the other way, that it's really
Or it could
important when you have, let's say, socially distant folks that are close in your world, where
Fair.
you can spend some time with them.
It's always good
just-
when you can, because, you know, who knew we would be in this for a whole year?
Man, yeah, very weird. Oh,
Boy, that's depressing.
yeah.
But-
So you have a breakup love song then to follow it with, where the person comes over, spends the time, and then there's a note on the pillow in the morning or whatever.
I think that is a great prompt for another song, though. So I'm going to have
There
to
you
write
go.
that song now. Thank you, Dave. I have a new
All right.
song. I have a
Okay.
new song to write. It is February album writing month, right? So
It is, yeah,
maybe we can get Rob to also consider doing that for one of his songwriting Mondays.
yeah. That's what we should. Let's give Rob a plug about his open mic Mondays, because I know basically where I heard your music. The reason you're on this show is because.
Rob Hinkle.
Yeah, I heard you a couple times, and I even said to Rob at one point, do you know about StreamYard? You know, are you familiar? Not that you know about StreamYard, have you done any streaming? And I think you were the one that mentioned StreamYard as a platform to Rob.
Guilty. It was
How did
me.
that happen?
By accident, like most things. I oh, hello. I actually was, you know, when all of our gigs got canceled in March, a friend of mine and I, Flory Rusignol, said, hey, we had a gig at Epicure, and we said, let's find a way to live stream. Yeah, what does that look like? How do we do that? And I just started looking up some things, and StreamYard was free. And I said,
Yeah.
oh, let's try that. And I have not gone back. I've pretty much been using this since April of last year. So, and I've been saying to everybody, you should try it. And now, here we are, using StreamYard.
Not that we're plugging StreamYard, but for a moment we will.
Sure.
It was sold recently.
I know. I saw that.
Did you hear the amount that it was sold?
No, I didn't.
255 million.
Wow. Hey.
The two kids living in a dorm did okay. Jeez.
I never had that kind of drive
No.
at that age.
So,
Well, we'll see.
all right.
Okay.
So
Well,
what's next on a hit parade?
well, I could either do, I don't know. I could either do I don't feel like doing a COVID song. I feel like a COVID song, I've done the COVID song. We're living in the COVID times, and many people have heard it already, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm going to do another new song. Again, I'm going to be playing a lot of new songs in this first round. So this is a new song that I wrote in September. Yeah, it's called Safe. Why did I wait so long? What keeps me far away? It's easy to hide when you're afraid. Peeking out from underneath the bed, retreating so far inside my head. refugee from this place. If I dig deep, what would I face? When I look in the mirror, what do I see? Who is looking back at me? What makes you say? What makes you whole? Where do you go when you struggle the most? I'm turning to you. I'm turning into you. I tried running away from myself. I did all I could to be someone else. I didn't take up too much space. Screaming filled that tiny place. What makes you safe? What makes you whole? Where do you go when you struggle the most? I turn into you. You turn into me. How much time did I waste while I tried erasing you? You've hidden the darkness, waiting to come through. And when I think I've gone as far as I can go, you come back. She comes back. What makes you safe? What makes you whole? Where do you go when you struggle the most? I turned into you. I turned into me.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yes, indeed. So that percussion that I was hearing,
Yes, sir.
where was that coming from?
That was coming from my right hand.
See, I was looking and I'm thinking, boy, it's very subtle, and yeah, it's picking up great. I mean, it's just, I was beginning to wonder whether you had like using a foot, on a little piece of wood or something. It really came out bigger and stronger than, I'm just,
A lot of people actually, whenever I play that song, people think I have like a stomp box, but I don't.
well, it's because you're not bashing away. It's very subtle.
It's just right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
excellent.
thank you. Thanks so much.
It's what else? What else? I want to say? What do you got project-wise coming up? Anything that I
Well-
should know about? The audience should know about?
Sure. So I released a debut EP in the middle of pandemic because
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
And so, thanks, Annette. And so, I thought, oh, hello. And I thought, let's do that in the middle of pandemic because that would be fun. So I did that. And I'm actually going to be hopefully I've been doing a lot of collaborations with other artists all over, which has been a lot of fun. But I plan on, I'm going to hopefully be doing a full album this year. Maybe an acoustic. Maybe, I don't know. You know, we're all recording from home, so
Sure.
so you know, I'm probably going to release a few things this year. But other than that, I do have some. I'm doing a Folk Alliance Unlocked show next week, and I have some live streams and even some live gigs in distant, you know, socially distant places coming up. So
Yeah, I'm hoping as the weather warms up, you know, we'll start to get more of the live gigs.
yes, yeah.
Man, will we miss this stuff. So,
You know, there's something nice about this because we can do this across time and space. But
Yeah.
yeah, I miss. And actually, when I started doing live gigs again last summer, I found it was very strange suddenly to have people sitting in front of me, and I was standing again, and I wasn't sitting, and I wasn't staring at myself on a screen or at a camera, and it was very odd. And I don't want to get used to this world.
and I when you say that, it reminds me that you have that ability of connecting with the camera,
Oh,
which is better than most of the artists we work with. You really, I get the impression, you know, it's sometimes when you're in a live setting, you can kind of look at one person or fix on a spot on the wall and direct
Right.
focus. But here, you know, so you're connecting so well with the camera.
oh, thank you.
That's for people that are watching this at home. You can agree with me, but you could also say, "Yeah, I need to think about that if they're performing." You know, it's kind of weird. I was watching some Nora Jones. She's been cranking out a couple
Oh, yeah.
songs a day.
Yeah.
She doesn't particularly get to the camera at all. She's kind of sitting sideways and looking at the piano, and you know.
It's not natural. It's really
No.
not natural to be staring at
No.
a camera. But I think I don't know. I think I soft focus. I think I
Yeah.
just sort of I'm just there, and that's where it is. So you know.
But it helps the connection.
Yeah.
And again, folks, if you're liking the connection, you know, do your donation thing. It's real easy.
Thank you.
In fact, I will mention that a couple weeks ago, I got a letter to the Institute of Musical Traditions, an actual snail mail letter, and in it was a check, and the woman had put in the notes in the check, "Please distribute this to the 3 artists. I forgot to jot down their PayPal, Venmo information, so just divide it up." And
That's awesome.
yeah, so we do that. So, folks, if you don't want to jot all this down, you just remember the names of the artists, send it to IMT, and we'll distribute for you. We're
Well,
good at that.
We'll definitely give back to IMT too, because
Yeah.
you know you're helping a lot of artists do this. So thank you so much. 'Cause
Well,
it's-
emotionally, it's helping everybody. It's helping me. It's helping Rob. It's helping you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And ultimately, it's helping the audience, because it's just not natural for us to not be able to get within 6 feet of people.
That's right.
you know.
And to hear great music is
Yeah.
just, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's nice to be able to be in our living room, I guess. But you know,
Yeah.
I think, but if it wasn't for folks like you doing this, then what opportunities would we really have? So thank you.
Well, we love doing it, and
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like we're going to do a show with Illy Amy.
yeah.
Rob
Can't wait
is
for
one of the
that.
founders of the band Illy Amy, and we haven't done an Illy Amy show in a long time, and that's going to be Thursday night. And you go to imtfolk.org, and what's wonderful about that is we're doing that in Tonal Park, which is
Awesome.
a Grammy Award-winning studio with a Grammy Award-winning engineer, Charlie Pilzer. Hey, look at that! There it
Hey.
is. You know, mixing it, and it'll be wonderful. And the only thing that we can't control, the weather's not looking too good right now, but we'll
At
see.
least you'll be inside.
Yeah, but
I know getting there.
getting there, yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to that show. So everybody
Yeah.
tune in on Thursday because I will be watching myself.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be
it
great.
is developing its own world. This whole streaming, it's cool.
It is.
All right, hit us with another one.
All right, so I'm going to do another one. This one, it's not going to be, it's maybe melodramatic, but faster, so it won't feel so melodramatic as the other ones. Maybe, I don't know. So let's see. It's called Worth. And what I wouldn't give to stop the world much of my choosing, and I don't know what I'm proving to you. To you. I wish that I knew how to let go, to just walk away, learn to say no. I have to love myself before it's too late. I better slow it down, there's no need to wait. No, no need to wait. I'm always thinking, doing, moving. This time I am who I'm choosing. Still don't know what I'm proving to me. To me. I'm always thinking, doing, moving. This time it's me that I'm choosing. Still don't know what I'm proving.
Ah, still don't know what I'm proving. That's a true statement.
Ain't that true?
Man,
There you
amazing,
go. Thank
amazing.
You. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You also play ukulele, as I recall. Do I recall that correctly?
Yes, I can. I have.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of convincingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the other instruments I play. Yep.
What else? What other instruments?
I'm actually classical violinist by trade.
Uh-huh.
Not by trade. I've been playing since I was a kid, but I also play string bass and percussion and mandolin
Wow.
and banjo and yeah. So
And this will sound, well, it won't sound weird. It's just something I've never asked. Where are you living?
I'm right in Hardin, so I'm not
Okay.
terribly far away. Actually, I do have a new instrument that you just helped me fix. It's an accordion downstairs, so I gotta figure that out. I gotta
All
figure
right.
that out.
Yeah, we can leave that. Cool.
In my copious amounts of spare time, I'll learn the accordion.
That's good. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, for those of you that are listening now going, I want to hear one more, we're going to come back around to Jillian.
Thank you.
So hang in, folks. Catch some Bill and catch some Pam, and then but we'll be back to Jillian. So there we go. Look at the timing of that. Perfect.
Great
Thank
job,
you,
Jillian.
Hey, Bill.
Hello, David.
Greetings.
Sounded great, Jillian. Yeah.
Bill, again, thank you for that intro with Louisiana. I got so lost in that. Obviously, I lost the whole sequence, and that's one mistake I hadn't made in quite a while. So, thanks for.
Well, there you go.
I was that into it.
Well,
So,
you know what? I called it an improvisation, and you can tell
Yeah.
it's an improvisation because I also made a mistake.
Ah,
So no extra charge for that. you know?
okay, good. All right.
It's live. It's
Yeah.
live TV.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So thanks again for having me. And this is great. Want to give a shout out to all my peeps out there. Also want to give a shout out to Arch Alcantara, who is here providing technical and
There he
moral
is.
support.
There he is. There's
He's
his
getting the
head.
plane off the ground here for us, and I really appreciate it. Arch is not only a very talented musician, but a great techie guy and sound man, and I couldn't have done this without him, that's for sure.
Well, I remember working with Arch when it was Ruthie and Andy and Arch together did a kind of acoustic trio. We did a streaming.
They did a streaming.
I
I think actually that was Ruthie and Andy and Tom, I think, if I remember correctly.
Arch
But-
had something to do with it.
well,
Maybe.
see.
Yeah.
And also, Arch is representing the Philippines for my segment of the show here tonight.
That's
so,
right.
So as because.
It's an amazing thing. So when I think of your music, I think of mostly rock, piano, and rockabilly.
Okay.
And so, but you've also got a solo album out.
Yeah, 2 actually.
Yeah, but one I'm thinking of the more recent one. I'm blanking out on the.
There's an album
songs.
there's a CD that came out in 2015 called I See Trouble.
Right.
And and many of the songs that are on I See Trouble have been performed with and by Ruthie and the Wranglers.
Yes.
And then there's another CD that I did more recently that was actually kind of hearkening back to some early recording projects and songwriting projects that I was involved in years ago.
Yeah.
And it's called Do You Hear Me Now? It's much more kind of like modern rock kind of stuff, but people listen to it and say it kind of reminds me of the 80s, and I say, well, the reason is that's when we did this originally, but we decided we had to memorialize this music. We weren't happy with the way the recording came out. We got the old band together, and we got my wife and kids singing harmonies on it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great project. I think some people might have been a little confused by that music following up after I See Trouble, but it's all good music, folks.
That's
All
right.
comes from the same place.
All right. Well, give us something from the same place. Let's.
What would you like to hear first?
Oh man.
We were talking about New Orleans. This song has a New Orleans connection.
Sure, I'd love it.
This song is really about distances that people put between each other. So it's called 300 Miles from Memphis to New Orleans. And really, it could be in any town, in any place. What it's really about is going to try to find somebody who doesn't really want to be found and try to find something that might not be there anymore. But let's see if I can do this here. It's over 300 miles from Memphis to New Orleans. Over 300 miles from Memphis to New Orleans. It's a long way to travel on your hands and knees. It's a lonesome run down southbound 55. Yeah, it's a lonesome drive down southbound 55. It's even worse to be alone when you arrive. So long, why'd you never say goodbye? I drive all night if you show me some new road to try. I don't know what you heard, who you believe. Still don't know why you thought you had to leave. I tried to find you the very same day. The state of Mississippi kinda got in the way. By the time I realized where you'd gone, pulling out of Memphis, you were passing me home. I made pretty good time in all that rain, but I turned around at Lake Pontchartrain. You'd listen to what I'd say. I'd get back in the car and drive the rest of the way. You can be so distant, even in the same room. I might as well be talking to the man in the moon. Had it all worked out in a 6-hour ride. I can't seem to get around all our pride. Baby, give me some sign that it's worth a try. Don't just sit in that house by yourself and cry. long, so long. Why'd you never say goodbye? I've tried all night. If you show me some new road to try. Could you meet me in Jackson? It's halfway in between, yeah. Come on, meet me in Jackson. It's halfway in between. And you got nothing to lose but time and some gasoline. It's only 300 miles from Memphis to New Orleans. Only 300 miles from Memphis to New Orleans. Yeah, but miles can't measure what that distance means.
Woo, yeah. That's, man, that's, that's not your normal road trip, so to speak. Man, that's, I think a lot of people, maybe they don't want to admit it, but they might identify with that song where you want something to work with someone else and you want it to work so badly that you don't stop and think, well, maybe they don't want it to work, and maybe, there's a reason that they're not answering the phone, not answering the email, not answering the doorbell.
What if I get down there and it's not there anymore?
That's right. That's a great song. That's,
Well, thank you.
You've probably done that with a full band.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But
I
it-
love the way the Ruthie and the Wranglers live arrangement of that song is what I consider to be the
Yeah.
classic version. And love doing it. People respond to it, and it won an award when the song was first released.
What award was that?
It was Song of the Year. Song
For
of the Year. It was
one
a
of the
WAMA.
Whammies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. That's like, speaking of which, like, do you ever try and pitch your songs into Nashville, Memphis, or?
I haven't gotten into that a lot, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
No. But Russia, if you're listening,
Right. Yeah, no, it's an interesting, I mean, obviously that's a very slippery slope to get songs produced, but man, all it would take is somebody that's already really well known to do that song, and then everybody go, whoa, hey, where did that come from? And then the next 5 songs you do will be, picked up the same way. I want one of those.
I like the way you think, David.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a weird business, that's for sure.
Well, you never
But,
know.
Yeah.
Someone might be out there tonight. Pick
yeah.
up the phone, give us a call.
Well, Ruthie just chimed in that she liked it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. There you go. She was singing along.
Very good. Couldn't hear you. Sing
Yeah.
louder.
Right. Call her up. Gosh. All right. What journey are you going to take us on now? What do we got?
Well, being how it's just 2 days past Valentine's Day, I think it's always a good time to show your love, and maybe it's time to take a little trip down to that heart-shaped house where love lives. Well, there's a place up ahead near the fork in the road. Every little boy surely would want to go. That little heart-shaped house where love lives. It's not so much a place to stay, it's a place to entertain. But when you've been there once, you only want to come again. that little heart-shaped house. Go ahead and show your face, and go ahead and try your hand. It's the perfect meeting place between a woman and a man. Well, there's a place up ahead near the fork in the road. Every little boy surely would want to go. That little heart-shaped house where the love lives. It's not so much a place to stay as a place to entertain. When you've been there once, you only want to come again. That little heart-shaped house where the love lives. There's an itching in the kitchen and something burning in the furnace room. And you can tell that something's cooking. Well, you're gonna feel the heat real soon. Knock, knock, baby, said, here I come. Right on back where everybody started from. That little heart-shaped house where love lives. Yeah, that little heart-shaped house where love lives. Yeah, that little heart-shaped house where love lives. Heart-shaped house where love lives, yeah. Woo! That little heart-shaped house where love lives.
All right.
You feel it?
Yeah, I did.
Get your heart going a little bit?
It did, and I have to. It recalls that humorous story that I've shared with you. I'll do it as quickly as I can because Rob's saying, "Dave, come on, speed it up." But about a heart-shaped house. One of the first times I saw you play was with Ruthie and the Wranglers, and it was at a heart-shaped house called the Quarry House. And the old Quarry House, there was barely a room for a singer or a duo, but they'd cram a 5-piece band in there all the way down, and the air conditioning didn't work very well. And the band was set up, and you were at the keyboard spot, as close as you could get onto what they called the stage, but it wasn't really a stage. It was just the end of the corner where all the beer cases were stacked.
What you're trying to say in a nice way is I was set up right outside the ladies' room.
Oh, you killed the story.
Oh.
So what I noticed, of course, was that there were not 2 or 3, but about 8 women lined up right behind you, watching you play. And I thought, this is amazing, man. Bill's, he's got fans. Look at this. This is amazing. And I watched for a couple more minutes, and then, behind you, the ladies' room door opened, and a lady came out, and one of the 6 or 8 that were standing behind watching was able to go in. I went, oh, I get it. So, not a bad place to set up, though.
It wasn't my effortless charm, after all.
No, but at first I thought, man, this guy's got a following. All right, so that's my story.
Well, we missed some of those crazy nights at the Quarry House. That was fun back then.
Whew, yeah.
I remember loading in those stairs and thinking that those stairs were probably made during the War of 1812, I think.
Yeah. When there were no electronic things to carry around either. Yeah.
No, that's right.
All right, so you got one more.
I do.
And then we'll come back around to you.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'd like to wrap this segment up with this song. It sort of wrote itself, and even though it harkens back a little bit before our current political atmosphere and current events. It's just one of those things that seems to be kind of like an all-purpose sort of a sentiment, and I think people can take from it what they will. It's called I See Trouble Everywhere. I see trouble everywhere. See people trying to act like they don't care. I can't even help myself. No, it don't seem fair. I see trouble everywhere. I've had years of nothing but bad news. Gotten too familiar with the blues. There's been too many sad stories, heard more than my share. I see trouble everywhere. Trouble wants to spoil your good time, like a dark cloud blocking out the bright sunshine. Every time that I let down my guard, well, that's when trouble always hit me hard. Yeah, when you're about to celebrate, then old man trouble just can't wait. Trouble like to sneak up from behind. Trouble wants to spoil your good time, yeah, like a dark cloud blotting out the bright sunshine. I got trouble always on my mind, and I read trouble in between the lines. I don't have to look too far, I know what I'll find. Trouble always on my worried mind. Yeah, trouble trying to sneak up from behind. Yeah, and I see trouble all the time.
Yeah, I'd say that's an apropos song right now. You wrote that years ago, though.
It just wrote itself, sitting out on the back porch. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened that day.
Yeah,
I would like to summon that muse back again.
yeah. All right. Well, stick around.
Sure will.
You're gonna do one later for us, and so it's great, folks. Remember to donate to the BillStarksMusic.com or Venmo. You see it on the bottom crawler, just strolling along on the bottom. So please support our artists.
Let me know what you liked about it and what you didn't. Thanks
That's right.
so much to IMT for having us, and thanks to Jillian, and I'm looking forward to Pam
Yep. All right.
and the flamenco band coming up.
Let's segue right into Pam here. All right. So look at them. Now you're immediately the audience is thinking, why is it off angle? Well, it's not, because Pam's going to occupy that whole piece of plywood basically. So this is the proper setting. We're not set up off angled here. And I want to tell you how this show came about. This is really an odd one, but we like kind of odd circumstances. the behind the band you see some curtains, and sometimes those curtains are open. And if the curtains were open, you would see the House of Musical Traditions, at least the side of our building. And late one night, not terribly late, but I was working a little bit later at the store. It came out, it was about 8 o'clock. And I was walking on what we call the boardwalk, which is between the house and Rhoda, which is the studio that they're in now. It's a dance studio. And I saw this person kind of twirling and zooming around the room there. There was only one person there, and I'm looking kind of because one or two of the curtains were open, and then because there's mirrors on the other wall, it turned out it was Pam. She sees some weird guy outside the window staring in. So at that point, when I noticed she saw me, I kind of waved like, "Hey, I'm not a creep. I'm just walking by." And then she came to the door and we started talking. And she told me about this band. I did a little exploration, and I said, "You know what? We've got to do a streaming of this. We can make this happen." And that's why we have Pam's band. You never know what happens when you walk around late at night and see strange women. All right, so Pam, tell us a little bit about what we're going to do here.
Well, first, he's going to sing. We're going to do a tango. And then the next piece, Richard will do a solo. And then the third piece, I will be dancing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for it.
All right. Whoa. Briefly, what was that song about?
You can speak.
Yeah, well, it's tangos. It's normally like in flamenco, it's like a Morris tempo, like 4/4.
Right.
And the lyrics are very like kind of like popular, so it can be about love, it can be about sadness, different aspects of life, and mostly it's your how you feel, when you like the first one, for example, like it's about when you work, how sad, I mean, how hard it is to work, in the field. So it's all about feelings.
Okay. Because I can hear a sort of a mourning, a sort of a
Yeah.
soulful yearning. I don't know what you're
beginning,
saying, but
actually.
the emotion.
Exactly. It's like when you wake up and you don't want to be awake because the night is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so you want to keep dreaming about the moon, about the stars, and you don't want to wake up, actually.
Yeah.
That's the beginning, yeah. So different aspects of, your feelings, in life. How you
Cool.
live life, yeah.
What's coming up next, Pam?
So Richard's going to play a solea, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to play a guitar
Yeah, I'm
solo.
gonna do a guitar solo short, and it's gonna be based on the soleá. Soleares is the original name of the form, and they believe it's related to the word soledades, which means loneliness. So, for guitar players, we like this piece as like a main guitar thing to check out new guitars with, because we can really tell how a guitar responds when we're doing this kind of thing on our own. Probably because of the key it's in, but it has a lot of the technical elements that we need to check out to make sure we got a nice guitar working for us. But normally it has beautiful lyrics and all that stuff, but I'm gonna do instrumental version guitar solo. So I'll move a little closer so in case people are squinting to see the guitar when I was sitting over there. But anyway, this is my own composition based on the traditional form, soleá.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, you got a fire extinguisher in that room? Man, the first time when I came over to help you guys get the right microphone, I was sure that Ricardo was plugged in, and I was thinking, we don't need to amplify. That's really kicking loud. We don't need to add any amplification. And he said, it's not. It's all in the fingers. So,
Yeah.
man, it's like you got 5 little amps in there. But that's just wonderful, and that's how you would say you would check out a guitar to listen to the voicings, the highs, the lows, the mids, the texture.
We usually that's the first thing we jump to check to see how the guitar's doing.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
In the flamenco is the main instrument. It's the guitar.
Yeah.
if there's no guitar, there's no flamenco.
All right.
Yeah.
Pam, do you agree with that, Pam?
Yep. I definitely can't dance without guitar.
Ah, good point.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that came up in what we call the green room, where you're together with Bill Starks and Jillian, is we talked about Phil Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Can you maybe give just a little bit of background story there? Because that's
Sure.
a wonderful story.
Yeah,
and again, it would never come up in a live performance, and obviously it wouldn't come up in the studio. And the amazing story, it's fabulous. So if
Yes,
you could just,
Phil was played with the Ruthie and the Wranglers. I remember Phil was the guitarist, in the group. So, but when I was a kid, my dad was a classical guitar teacher, and Phil Matthew was his student. And so, I saw Phil many times at my house hanging out. And when I was about 12 years old, I got into playing guitar finally, but I liked rock, not classical guitar. And my dad said, I was trying to play like Ozzy Osbourne or something, and it didn't sound right. I had this little amp, and it just sounded kind of like, a jazz guitar or something. I was like, I want to sound like Randy Rhoads. And my dad said, well, my student Phil Matthew plays rock and metal. He can show you how to fix the amp to make it sound. So Phil came over and he showed me how to overdrive my amp so that I could get distortion and sound like Randy Rhoads, when I was playing my rock stuff. So.
all right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, do the next number.
Yep, I think.
Are we ready for the dance?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna reposition over here for the
Yeah.
go dance.
Ayan, Pam, episode. Happy.
Well, that was pretty amazing.
Now she needs to breathe.
Yeah. Whew. I see why you keep the studio nice and cool. When I walked in, I was like, it's kind of cool in there. Understandably. It's a flamenco gymnasium. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually it's very deep, this piece. You know, seguidillas, yeah, it's very deep.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill for a moment, basically, so that Pam can catch her breath a little bit. Basically, IMT loves to run shows like this, and what you just saw, for example, imagine if you were going to go to see them perform somewhere. You'd get in your car, and you'd use up a certain amount of gas, and you'd pay for parking, and then you'd probably have to pay some sort of admission, some sort of ticket price, and then you'd come back home, and you'd spend a little more on gas, and it'd be absolutely worth it. But you can't do that now. But you can take some of that money that you saved and put it right towards the band, because they're not in a position to get the gigs that they would normally get. And that's true, of course, of Bill, and it's true, of course, of Jillian. But just sort of think about overall how the economy of doing things has changed, you know, with no travel expenses to speak of, and no theater and no sporting events. It's time to we can kind of shift the economics a little bit, and that was truly amazing what we've seen tonight already. Speaking of seeing things tonight already, Thursday night we have a show with Illy Amy. Some of you, I know Jillian's very familiar with Illy Amy. They are just your typical folk band where they have two lead singers. There's an electronic cello. Sometimes they have more than one djembe player. Sometimes electric guitar. So obviously the word typical never fits Illy Amy. It's a wonderful show. It's going to be, as you see on the screen there, at Tonal Park. If you made a beeline from the House of Musical Traditions past Rhoda, which is the dance studio, then next door to the dance studio is Wowdy, which is WOWD. It's our radio station. And then next door to the radio station is Tonal Park, a recording studio. So we have our own little arts center there, and luckily we're able to use Tonal Park's performing space. It's very intimate, but everything's intimate in the pandemic right now, so it's perfect for Illy Amy. So please support that show. It's important. Pam, how'd I do? You catch your breath?
Yeah, but I think I can breathe now.
All right. Well, I'm a little worn out, and I didn't dance. So this has been wonderful. So now we're going to just basically go back where Pam and the trio will basically do one, and then Bill, and then Jillian, and that'll take us home. So take us away, Pam.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. This was great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, David.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Thank you.
Our pleasure, and I look forward to doing something with you guys in the future too.
Hopefully soon.
May move you down the line a little bit, get you into Tonal Park. Let's see. There actually was a question from Robert Holbrook. Just curious, who drives the rhythm changes when you guys are in a composition?
It depends, what's going on in the moment. Sometimes it's her doing it with her feet.
It depends if there's dancing going on.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
You just follow the dancing.
Right.
If
Okay.
there's singing going on, then you follow the singer.
Right.
Okay.
And if there's a falseta is when the guitar is
kind of
playing.
part, then the guitar.
You follow the guitar. So each one has their own, moment actually. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. When we play it live,
Sure. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to Bill Starks now. All right.
Wow, that was mesmerizing. Great performance, guys.
This is a fun thing to do. It puts stuff together that
Right.
Normally we'd never have this trio of group together in the same show, and it's working beautifully. Filipino bookends, and you got Arch helping out. I mean, this is amazing. So this is great. What do you got for us, Bill?
Well, I want to give Arch a shout out, by the way. He's right over here. He's my right-hand man.
I won't be dancing.
He said he won't be dancing, but he's the one that made this happen. Thanks again.
Yep.
Shout out to all my Azalea City recording buddies, and thanks to everybody for watching. David, this one's for, I guess this would speak to some of the economic issues that you were raising a minute ago from the pandemic and even from before. It's called One Step Ahead of the Repo Man. I got something I need to confess. Yeah, my finances always been a mess. We just seem to spend it faster than I can bring it in, I guess. Isn't that why they invented American Express? Now's the time to come up with a plan. 'Cause I'm only one step ahead, one step ahead, one step ahead of the Repo Man. I've always borrowed from Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, but this time neither one returned my call. And now the cash flow is in limbo. Brother, now I need to stall. I'm getting kinda used to living up against the wall. That is where I'll have to make my stand. Just trying to stay one step ahead, yeah. One step ahead, one step ahead of the Repo Man. The best that I can do. One step ahead, and if I'm lucky, that's still true. Yeah, we're making a living, we're not doing too damn bad, but we just keep on spending money we might never have. It's different from the tab I paid last night. I knew I had to settle up or face a fight. I tell them, I said, I got maxed out credit cards at several banks in town, and I know they'll just increase my limit until I'm in the ground. We'll just ask the undertaker about his easy payment plan, and we'll stay one step ahead. One step ahead, I said one step ahead of the Repo Man. We're all just one step ahead, one step ahead, one step ahead of the Repo Man. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, we're still here. Hello.
It's all right.
Come on, little bit closer.
Bill, was that song inspired by the? Wasn't there a movie that was out of Baltimore called The Repo Man or something
There
about
may
a
have been.
Cadillac salesman?
It was inspired by me sitting at the kitchen table trying to pay the bills.
Yeah, 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 it's true. Yeah, I helped a buddy who had recently who had moved, and his bills weren't forwarded to him,
Oh, man.
and most of them were, but for some reason this one wasn't, and he gave me a call saying, "This is a little embarrassing, but I went out to get my truck and it wasn't there," and he thought it was towed because he was improperly parked.
Yeah.
And so I had to bail his truck out. So, yeah, that song resonates.
Well, the
Very
good
true.
news is we've managed to stay one step ahead of the Repo Man.
Yeah,
We're doing all right.
yeah. Where's my stimulus payment? It's probably with my vaccine. All right. Well, Jillian, you're up.
I feel like I've stumbled into the coolest club ever with a lot of Filipinos. Mabuhay, y'all. Mabuhay. So, so I happened to notice that Jacqueline actually requested a song. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's actually off the EP. It's called Keeper. It's actually probably one of the happiest songs I ever wrote. It's also perfect because it was just Valentine's Day. So,
Aw.
yeah, it's the only happy love song I have, so. But, here's the fun thing. It's going to be a sing-along for y'all because, it's just me and a guitar. So the chorus is basically do, 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 because that's what happens when you don't want to write a chorus. So here
Right.
goes. Yeah. I was ready to walk away. Had no reason, no need to stay. You snuck through. There's something about you. Steady as a rock, you took my hand. Smooth my wrinkles without demands. Now I see you're all I ever need. I was broken when you came my way. I was going through motions from day to day. I didn't think that I could find the one who would ease my mind, but you stayed and kept me anyway. Here we go. Do 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 do. Check if you're singing. I'm sure you sound great. You endure all that I am. I know I make too many plans. Yes, it's true. So much I want to do. We both give and make some space. We know that we're in the same place. We've come far. 'Cause home is where you are. And when I get in my own way, you always know the right thing to say. I didn't think that I could find the one who would ease my mind, but you stayed. I'll keep you anyway. Again. Do 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 do. Thank you. I know you hate when I say it. I know that you don't play favorites, it's fine. 'Cause baby, you're mine. One more time. Do 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 Good show.
Oh yeah. Well, this was wonderful. This was again. Somehow it works, and it works. I've figured out the somehow. It's if you have good people, meaning the three of you as entities, you want to get along. You want to make it work. You want to have a good time. It's not divas and egos and competition. It's just everybody working together, and you know, it's even
Dave,
Rob.
that's top down, man. So we don't bring this up much, but I think that like it's been amazing to have Institute of Musical Traditions coming out and being like, you know, folk music is so much broader than what a lot of organizations are showing off and everything like that.
Yeah.
And Institute of Musical Traditions, you haven't, as you know, our fearless leader, haven't made a big fuss out of the fact that you have just gotten so broad with your booking over COVID, over the last several years and everything like that. You know, we're just like, by the way, folk music isn't just white guys with guitars. Like, what a spectacular lineup you've had every couple weeks for the last year. So actually,
thank
props
you.
to you, man, because this is top down, you know?
It's white guys with pianos.
You're not supposed to say that, man.
Oh, right, okay.
In a Filipino
What you meant to
sandwich.
say,
Yeah, good.
what you meant to say was IMTfolk.org. Institute of Musical Traditions is a 401c3 nonprofit corporation.
501.
That too. And we are made possible through donations like yours. IMTfolk.org/donate. You can
Arts
you
and
can find
Humanities
ways to
Council of
get to
Montgomery
us.
County. I mean, when I picked the name back in 1981, the Institute of Musical Traditions, that's a big umbrella. And I said, yep, I can put whatever I want under there. And it's an institute of music. It's a tradition. And, you know, it's worked. And Rob helps it work. And Rob will turn me on to stuff. I mean, just literally going to open mics. People are like, Dave, you're driving to Baltimore for an open mic? Yeah, why not, you know? Well, but what
I
if
guess
they
that's a
aren't any
little
good,
easier
you
now.
know? Who cares, you know? I mean, every now and then you come across somebody like Jillian, you know, and it's great. Or peering in windows of dance studios. You know? I mean, you just...
We here at Institute of Musical Traditions do not encourage you to peer through the windows of dance studios, no matter who you might meet or encounter.
Right. But and then Bill and I work well together in different settings, and you know, it's fun to put it all together and, you know, kind of roll it out there and see what happens. And we've got really good comments tonight. And again, people, if you're still listening, just send the artists money. You know, it's fine. I mean, you know, we're not having to rent a hall, so we're saving money, and you know, our expenses are lower, and you know, everybody wins. So
All of those links you can find in the descriptions of the videos and in the comments. To
oh,
the
they're
videos.
archived. Let's tell them about archives.
They're archived.
Yeah. You can go on the site. Like, if your friends are now going to come up to you and say, oh, man, I missed it. You know, I was watching the Maryland-Nebraska game or whatever. You know, so just say, okay, but it's archived on the imtfolk.org. And, Rob, you can actually supply copies to the artists as needed, I think. Is that
Ish.
somewhat truthful?
Vaguely truthful.
Vaguely truthful. All right, we like that.
Don't look any better than what we're putting out there, but you know.
Yeah.
What a fantastic night. We should thank all our artists one more time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everyone for
Thanks,
doing this
folks.
with us.
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
right.
Thursday night, it's self-serving, but Thursday night, IMTfolk.org presents my band Dilly I never get to say me, but there it is.
That's right.
Information, tickets, information at IMTfolk.org. And I'm not quite sure what we've got on tap for next month, but we try to do one of these IMT live showcase shows once a month, and we try to do one ticketed show once a month. And so just watch IMTfolk.org for information about that. Follow and subscribe and get on our mailing list. And Dave, send us home.
All right, everybody, that's it. It's now time to leave the studios and go back to whatever we're doing. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And this was wonderful.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Support
Yay.
IMT.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.